how does it affect the political and social dimensions of law enforcement if the police analyzed a hair from a crime scene and determined that someone's likely to be of a specific ethnic background? How might this have affected the recent Boston bombing in the United States, for example, if ethnic analysis showed this person was of Middle Eastern descent, right? How might this have changed sort of the cultural response? And will this new technology simply reinforce cultural stereotypes that are already so problematic, become a new form of racial profiling? So this is one of my chief concerns about the use of this technology in a law enforcement context. And interestingly, this already came up in the Netherlands. So as I was doing research for this project, I came across an article in Science magazine describing a young woman who'd been brutally raped and murdered, and after a year the police had no suspects. And the ethnic tensions in her community were beginning to rise, and people were pointing fingers at the local Middle Eastern population. And despite the illegality, right, it was illegal in the Netherlands for any kind of profiling to happen with suspect DNA left at the crime scene. But despite that illegality, a forensic biologist working on the case decided to extract DNA anyway. And he analyzed the ethnic background of the sample. And in this case, he found this person was of European descent. And so in this particular case, this technology actually helped serve to calm these tensions that were brewing. But for me, it also raises the question of what if the result had been the opposite, right? What kind of reaction would that have engendered? So the name for this practice is forensic DNA phenotyping. So this is kind of the new technology of the police sketch that's coming out of this. And the Dutch actually passed a law regulating this practice after that case. And the law that they arrived at actually allows phenotyping, so it went from being illegal to being legal. It allows phenotyping for physical characteristics that you could observe, so things like eye color and ethnicity. But it prevents phenotyping for invisible characteristics, things like disease risk. The logic here, I think, being DNA can tell us what a witness might tell us, and also to avoid potentially revealing very sensitive information about someone. So how does this compare? This kind of new technology, how accurate should a new technology be to be used in a courtroom, and how might this compare to a witness testimony? This is another